Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 really simple, really basic tips on how to improve your life as an AOT. So especially if this is your first time and you're nervous about how things are going to go, these things helped me personally when I first started teaching as an AOT. So a lot of times teachers will often just overlook the fact that this is your first time. You've never taught, you don't have experience, and if you can just be a decent human being, trust me, like these things will help you so much in the long run as working in the schools. So I hope they help you, and let's get into those tips. So tip number 1 is just be patient and be flexible. And before you go off and say, no shit, Captain Obvious, I just want to go ahead and stress that this point is very important, and I can't give you enough examples as to why this will help you be a better AOT. First of all, every person is going to have a different experience. You're going to be in different schools, you're going to be in different cities, everybody's experience is going to be different. From each school, you work with different people, you work with different students. The level of English that you're going to be able to speak and teach is all going to be different. So the more flexible you can be and the more patient you can be with the teachers you work with, it's going to help you in the long run. So based off my own personal experiences, I've been on both sides, both good and the bad. So I've worked at schools that were amazing, wonderful, like the teachers, the staff, the students are great, and they kept me in the loop about everything. Would always tell me about schedule changes the minute they happen. And on the other end, I've been at schools where they don't say a word to me. Nobody even goes as far as greeting me. So just to give you an example, was a couple weeks ago, I was scheduled to go to a school, and the day I went, there was nobody there. No teachers, no students, no staff. Come to find out that they had the day off because they had an event on the weekend. So that was great for me because now I'm here like a fucking asshole by myself and I don't know what the hell to do. So that being said, don't take it personally. A lot of times homeroom teachers, Japanese teachers are extremely busy, especially around event times. They have lots of things that are on their minds, and sometimes it just might slip. As shitty as that sounds, it just might slip their mind. So don't take it personally, just try to be patient and see things from their point of view. Okay? And just like any place else, Japan isn't any different. There's gonna be a variety of people that you're gonna work with, and all of them are gonna have their own unique personality and method of teaching. So you're gonna have to adjust and adapt to it as best as you can. And your relationship with your English teacher, your JTE, and even your homeroom teachers is gonna be really important, because it can either mean having a really good day or having a really shitty day. So the better you are at just kind of going with the flow and working along and making a good relationship with that teacher really dictates how your experience is gonna be at that school. Alright, so tip number 2 is join or attend your school events or festivals. So there's tons of them throughout the year, such as sports festival or undokai. They have culture festival or school festival, which is also known as bunkasai. They have your chorus festival, or they call it, I think, konku. They might call it something different in every school. So look out for these events and attend them if you can, and try and get involved as much as you can, because this is a great opportunity for you to learn about Japan's cultures in schools. And not to mention, they're a ton of fun and they're a great way to get to know your students better. So for example, today at the school I was scheduled at, the junior high school side canceled their lessons with me because the students have to study for their upcoming exams. So with that being said, I didn't have anything to do. I finished my lesson plans for the week, and the elementary school side had some kind of big, crazy carnival-like festival, and I had no idea about this, but I just so happened to be walking around, and the students were the ones that stopped me, and they were calling me to come in and join, and it's exactly what I did. So I jumped in, and I had no idea what was going on, and then the students were doing their best to explain to me in English, which was a fucking awesome thing. And it was just really cool to see them trying to explain, the rules and what to do all in English, and it was fucking great. And these are like elementary school kids, so I had a ton of fun and it was awesome. So if you get the chance, if you get the opportunity, take it. Just take it and run with it. And last but not least, the most important reason why you should join these festivals is that they're just fucking awesome. Like, just take a look at it for yourself. So tip number 3 is just be friendly and be more approachable. And I know this is another one of those. Thank you again for pointing out the obvious, but allow me to go a little more into detail and on ways how you can be more friendly and how you can be more approachable, and why this is important for not only your students but some of your teachers as well, believe it or not. So I want you to imagine just for a second what it was like to be in your student's shoes. So whether it be junior high school or elementary, would you feel comfortable talking to a stranger in a foreign language? I know me personally, I wouldn't even feel comfortable speaking to people in my own language. So with that being said, try to understand that your kids might be nervous. So just putting on a little bit more of that Genki side, being a little more friendly, and just being more approachable helps your kids feel more relaxed and be more willing to talk to you. I know some AOTs that they wear suits every day. I'm actually supposed to wear like a tie and shit, but this is what I wear to school. I wear a hoodie, and a lot of times this actually works in my favor because I have a Dragon Ball hoodie because I fucking love Dragon Ball. I've loved Dragon Ball since I was a little kid, and I wear it, a couple times to the schools, and the students they just go nuts about it. Like, Dragon Ball, that's the first thing they see. And it strikes up a conversation. You can talk with them like, hey, do you like Dragon Ball? What character do you like? Oh, Dragon Ball is cool. It just opens up so many doors. And not only with the students, I've had conversations with teachers. Teachers love Dragon Ball too. I mean, they're human beings too, and who doesn't love Dragon Ball? So just try to find a common ground. That's another thing, is if you can find a common ground with your students, it makes striking up a conversation so much easier. So don't put on this whole front like, I'm a professional, you're students, I'm a teacher. Don't be that guy, okay? Trust me, don't be that guy. And I also recommend doing a little bit of research on like the recent most popular anime that's out at the moment, famous athlete, baseball player, basketball player, any sports teams that are in your area, just anything that you can use to strike up a conversation. I mean, music's a great one. Everybody loves music. I'm not asking you to watch all like fucking, what is it, like 100 seasons. I don't even know how many seasons there are of One Piece, but I'm just saying, as long as you have the gist of it and you know enough to have a conversation, it'll take you so much further with your students. And you can find that common ground and you can build relationships with certain students. And I also want to point out one more thing that I strongly suggest not doing, and that is stepping in every time your student makes a mistake, as small as it may be. Because I've worked with teachers who tend to just jump on their students' case every little mistake they make. And I'm strongly against this because it just kind of discourages your students from trying. And not everyone is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. We're all human. I know when I speak Japanese, my Japanese isn't perfect. But for the most part, the person I'm talking with can understand what I'm trying to say. So that being said, you don't need to jump on your student's case for every mistake. Yes, there are times where you need to step in, of course, but just try to use your judgment. If you can understand what they're saying, that's fine. If they make a huge mistake and you have no clue what language they're even speaking, of course you need to get in there. But Our job as an AOT is to promote and facilitate the use of English and also teaching English, of course, but you can do so without being a dickhead. Now, tip number 4, it's okay to use Japanese once in a while. And I know a lot of you are gonna disagree with me on this. Everyone's gonna say, no Japanese ever in front of your students. But to be honest, for me, it's okay. Everyone has their own opinion. And I think, again, this goes back to being approachable. So not only for my students, but for the teachers that I work with and around as well. So now I'm speaking from personal experiences, of course, where I've noticed a big difference in how many students, even teachers, would approach me and try and talk with me. And I think knowing that I can understand a little bit of Japanese gives them that much more confidence to be, like, okay, I'm gonna go and approach the AOT and try to talk to them, knowing that if all else fails, I can revert back to Japanese, my own language. And a lot of times, especially in the classes as well, the students, knowing that I can understand Japanese, they're more willing to ask me questions. I mean, of course, I'm going to explain it in Japanese because I don't want to confuse them any further. And the reason for this is I've been on the opposite side where I've attended a school, a Japanese school, where everything is taught in Japanese. You have to ask questions in Japanese. And me, I did not like that. It was more frustrating than it was helpful because a lot of times they could only use examples and it would only confuse me even further. So just being able to just be upright and, just tell them the answer directly without trying to guide them and, just take a shot at the dark and hope that they understand what you're trying to say. It just makes the students a lot more relieved, to know that they can talk with you. So tip number 5 is join your school's club activities or join other classes in your free time. And for the same reasons as joining school festivals, this gives you more chances, more opportunities to interact with your students and teachers. So if you're in junior high school, club activities is the perfect place for you to interact with your students. Most times they'll have a basketball team, a baseball team, soccer team, table tennis, anything, kendo. If you just join one of them, even just to stop by and observe and watch, chances are your students are going to take notice of it and they're going to be willing to talk to you. The best thing about club activities is this is your students in their element. This is where they're comfortable. So they're going to be a lot more willing to come up to you and talk to you. So it's the same thing with some of these classes like PE, art, music. A lot of times this is their students' element and they're gonna feel comfortable in that setting wherever it is that they enjoy doing, and it gives you a chance to see them, strive at their art. And it doesn't give you a chance not only with the students, but it gives you a chance with some of these teachers as well, because I've had teachers that haven't said a word to me, Same with students, they haven't said a word to me, they don't talk to me all year. When I even greet them, they'll kind of shy away. As soon as I start joining some of these classes, it's like a complete 180, and they'll talk to me non-stop. And I've even had teachers where I would go and watch PE class, and then for about a couple of weeks, next thing you know, they're asking me to join, like, hey, are you free this period? You want to come play softball? Which is great. It's awesome because, it helps you feel included. And another good thing is this gives you a chance to talk with your kids and teach them phrases that aren't in the textbook. And you can also learn phrases as well in Japanese. So a perfect example that I can think of was last month I was asked to join the soccer club. I'm terrible at soccer, but the students were like, hey, come join, come watch soccer. I was like, cool, alright. So I noticed that every time they would score a goal during practice, there would be a rock show, which was the first time I heard this term. And it translates to easy victory. And I was like, okay, cool. How about this? I'll teach you guys how to say it in English, in a slang of what we say. And I taught them how to say easy money. So next thing you know, a bunch of 13-year-old kids are running around yelling easy money. and they even yell it to me in the hallways when I see them, and it just blows my mind, and I think it's freaking hilarious every time they're yelling easy money. So these are great chances for you to expose yourself, and not only expose yourself but get a great opportunity to see your kids, you know, like this is the reason why you became AOT. Well, most of you, but you can see them and get to know them better. So there you go, 5 tips, 5 easy tips that pretty much anybody can do, but I can't even stress to you how far it'll take you in your experience as an AOT. It'll help you build great relationships with your teachers as well as your students. And coming from me personally, when I first started being an AOT, I had no idea what I was doing, but these things helped me so much, and I can't even stress. I hope it helps you guys out as well. And if you guys have any other suggestions or maybe advice, any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments below. And at this time, I want to say thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next video. Please take care. Peace.